Was September of 2022. We are almost at a full 3 years of campaign.
That's wild, you know.
Fucking wild.
But it's we sprinkled other stuff in there. I think I've got everybody DMing it, but maybe Will. I don't think I've got Will at least posted on YouTube as DMing, but I think I've got everybody else. Plus Chris has DM'd a bunch of times. We've even played other games like RFS, so it's not all solid campaign, but yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, I think everybody's DM'd. I think everybody's DM'd. You've only recorded everybody outside of Will, if I'm not mistaken. And I think a lot of the RFS has been Chris and I, and then of course Chris has Marima. But yeah, like we're gonna have to pepper in some more Will and Anthony DMing moving forward. Give you a little break between campaigns, because I assume that you're just gonna, build an entire other world for us once we finish this one. Because
you assume that it's not already built, sir. No.
Touche.
The heist tales we could do.
I do really want to get back to the heists. I was thoroughly enjoying those.
I'm super excited. I'm not gonna lie. Back. I fucking love those fucking little heists, dude. I peeked ahead and I read the whole goddamn thing and like, fuck, you guys have just got to the point where it's now like interesting and kind of hard. You guys pretty much, I don't know, the first couple were pretty mellow, but I'm pretty sure at least 2, maybe 3 of the 5 adventures, you guys just fucking whomped it. Like, whether it was just lucky dice rolls or Blade assaulting someone in the fucking shitter, it was just
that's my favorite.
Clicked.
I feel like the heists were meant to be like 2 to 3 sessions long based on the way we played them, and they just ended up being really long nights. But I would love to see a long form like module of those heists, because those were some of the funnest fucking one shots that we've done.
Dude, some of them are pretty great, and yeah, it's like they're all pretty much designed to be a one shot, but at the same time, it's like, one shots take up 3-4 hours sometimes, especially when they're that elaborate, and sometimes it's not like a clear like, hey, you need to go A to B to C to accomplish this mission. It's like, hey, here's the thing, you fucking figure it out, and then they walk away.
I think it's also play style. Like they're one shots for people who are very
mechanical,
main storyline driven.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Whereas with this group, you give them just the smallest thread to grab onto, and either A, ignore it, or B, spend the next hour just role playing some stupid shit that has nothing to do with the story whatsoever.
That's right. I enjoy those moments where like we spend 20-30 minutes just deciding on like who is getting punched in the balls and if they are capable of like sneaking up on somebody to punch them in the ball or whatever.
Or if we look back at the early days of the campaign, I believe it was like Arc 1 maybe transitioning to Arc 2, and we spent like a good hour and a half deciding whether we were going to take the local ferry or the the tourist ferry or whatever, and we overthought it to the point where I think we all just started like pretty much yelling like, somebody just fucking pick something. Poor Sean just like sat back and watched us completely dissolve as a group trying to figure out which boat to take across the river, and there was really no consequence either way.
And really,
it was the first arc.
Yeah, I think it was the first arc. That was in Hordenshire. But really, that was kind of on you guys, because all I said was that there's a large amount of guards at the river, and you guys happened to maybe not be on the best terms with the guards at that point. So that was like, you guys just assumed danger.
It's like, it was also... go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, we'd have like problems with shit like that and be held up, but we'd have no problem fucking like taking a halfling hostage, you know?
Well, that
No,
was
second.
early in this story, so we were still scared and oh god, if my character gets hit, he dies. Now we have so many toys and tools, we just go, yeah, fuck it, I'll yell fire in the theater and see what happens.
This is where it gets fun, though, because I'm just kind of setting you guys up to be fucking badass bitchin' demigods, and then I can throw Herculean tasks at you and be like, yeah, it's impossible. You fucking try.
All right, leave it to you, Sean. Anthony said to start without him because he still had to clean up after falling asleep. So we can continue waiting if you want, or we could just get going and puppet Logus.
Well, we won't hold it against him. This recap is going to be a little longer than normal, fellas, because I'm kind of recapping the whole arc, and we haven't played for a while. So I guess we'll get started. Holler at me if I start glitching out or anything crazy. Previously, our band of heroes, finishing up their task in Locris's homeland of Brightwood, turn their sights towards Logos's homeland of Nightwood. Their first task was to cross the barren desert wasteland known as the Canyon of Betrayal, the border between the two great elven nations. In doing so, they encountered earthquakes and rock slides, angry ambush parties of Yuan-Ti, and a sizable lizard folk population. Convincing a lizard folk holy man to guide them through the labyrinthian tunnel network caused by their god, Yaki, a purple worm, safely to the other side. Narrowly escaping Yaki, the party successfully navigates the canyon and makes their way to the dense jungle landscape of Nightwood. Greeted by none other than Lorelei, Logos's mother, and a powerful druid and protector of the realm. After warm greetings, she uses her nature magic to deliver herself and the party from the borders of Nightwoods to deep within the Jungle Nation, to Logos's hometown of Xanaphia. Here, after a hero's welcome, the party learns a few things. The first of those, Zeriotol, secretly a copper dragon in the form of an elf and occasional ally to the party, seeks the last known quarry of the Shades Avian, which is Logos's father's adventuring party. This quarry being, of course, the Shadow Dragon, and he will pay handsomely for information. They also learn that as Lorelei reveals that a nearby temple seems to be the source of corruption, tainting the surrounding lands and its people. She reveals she can keep the effects from worsening, but cannot cure this curse or disease, as it is neither and both at the same time. Zeriotol then reveals that said temple is likely the best way to tail the Shades Avian, that they are likely still in the Feywild. He also reveals that the most likely cause of this corruption of Nightwood is indirect influence of a god. He then informs the party of what we are going to now call anchor crystals. 5 in total. 1 for the material plane, and 1 for each of its mirror planes as well, both Shadowfell and the Feywild. Also, 1 placed upon the higher planes, and again in the lower planes. The purpose of these crystals is to lead the god Nerul's Comet of Death to a new location, where he may greatly increase his influence, and to allow the god's ever-moving home plane the rare opportunity to stop and continue to exude that influence for as long as he wishes. The party readies themselves and heads to the nearby temple of Farlong, the god of roads. The land around it, as well as the temple itself, are covered in black, undulating vines, clearly corrupted and desecrated in the name of the dark god, Nerul. Upon entering, the party finds the temple infested with Sladi, evil humanoid toad creatures in service to Nerul. After slaying them, the party discovers an anchor crystal, and though the temple and surrounding landscape seem to rise up and smite them all, Gladir at the last moment, with a blow fueled by radiant energy, destroys the crystal, sending all of them to a strange demiplane of pure white in all directions. It was here that the party had a brief/strange encounter with the god of roads himself. He, as a favor for ridding one of his temples of corruption, sends the sands of justice into the Feywild. The Feywild is as mysterious as it was beautiful, filled with strange magics, excellent foods, drinks, and other comforts, wild and violent, yet peaceful and tranquil. As the sands of justice begin their search for Logos's long-lost father, much fey fuckery lay in their path. One of their first encounters in the Fey, the Spring King, a chill and hospitable host who convinces the party to help him with a monster hunter problem in exchange for some directions and aid with travel. The party, through confrontation, discover the monster hunter to be Alewin, a member of the Shades Avian. She reveals that the Spring King has actually transmuted and magically enslaved the rest of the Shades Avian, and that the unkind queen herself holds Logos's father prisoner in her tower in the Winter Court. The party returns to Stuart, aka the Spring King, and absolutely whomps this large bear-like humanoid arch-fey and frees all of his servants. A few of these servants reveal the necessary steps to get to the Winter Court, which mainly involved getting to the Autumn Court and asking very nicely. The party departs into a magical autumnal forest and has many magical traps and tests put before them. Skirting danger and besting riddles, the party finds the Autumn Court quite quickly. Soon, they find themselves in the autumnal Great Hall before the autumnal princess herself. She transports all of them in an instant to the front steps of an icy tower half a world away, but not before convincing Blade, on behalf of himself and all of the Sands of Justice, to make a promise that they would not bring harm to her distant relative, the unkind queen. In a flash, the party finds themselves in an icy tundra. A great white ice-covered tower stands before them. After some trouble at the front door, they gain entry. Gaining entry to find a large, mostly hollow tower containing only one thing: an icy queen on her frigid throne. Stroking her newest pet, a cat-sized and temperamented shadow dragon, she sees through the party's disguises and their attempts to infiltrate, and confronts them as they enter. Refusing to release Lagos, but feeling pity at the breakup of a father and son, she agrees to allow the party 1 hour to say their goodbyes, provided they survive the entertainment. The once hollow tower transforms into a large coliseum full of thousands of cheering Fae. While the party, separated from one another through walls of ice, each faced off a wide variety of Fae opponents, some of you faring better than others. In the end, the queen was won over by Locris's unwillingness to abandon his friends for a highly sought-after item she figured he coveted. The battles were called off, the Colosseum was a hollow tower once more, and a spiral staircase began manifesting up the tower. Upon reaching the top of the tower, the party stumbles upon Lagos. in a robe of all white, wearing a wizard's hat encrusted with a great gem. Not just any gem, an anchor crystal. Dazed and confused, struggling to recall even the most basic memories from his past life, the crystal and the queen's influence had strongly jumbled and clouded Lagos's mind. Removing and destroying the crystal seemed to do the trick, bringing life and vibrance back to the eyes of Lagos. The queen, sensing the curse broken and furious, sends a ripple of rage through the entire tower. The party and Lagos quickly barricade the door and escape to the roof. The queen, in an attempt to keep Lagos, summons an entire army of Fae coming from all directions, and they begin scaling the tower. Sensing the window for safety escaping closed, Lagos makes a move. Plucking an infernal trinket from his bow, he makes a pact with a demon, his soul, for the safe return of his son, his son's party, as well as the Shades Avian to the material plane. A portal to hell opens with a burst of flame in the sky. Demons and devils pour forth and begin engaging the Fey forces. Out of said portal falls a large, powerful demon, landing upon the tower with a thud. Wreathed in flame, Naelogoth, ruiner of souls, the very demon that haunts Renwick's dreams, accepts the terms. In a flash, both the Sands of Justice and the Shades Avian are outside a familiar temple of roads. No corruption. Thick, clean forest air. Lagos says his thanks and goodbyes to his son, steps through a fiery portal, and is gone. Upon returning to Xanathia, the party once again receives a hero's welcome. After a time, the party has an interesting encounter with a few NPCs, primarily ones from the tribe of the Lioness. They also encounter Zeriotal and receive their reward for finding out the happenings of the Shadow Dragon. They break the news of Lagos to Lorelei, and they receive a prophecy from her. And after that, they take in a bit of tea and a bit of mail. Everybody, having been gone for several months, having a bit of something waiting for them upon the return. 2 days pass from our last session's ventures, and that is where we are now. We are in Xanathia, the thick jungle surrounding the village. The majority of the village is, tree houses magically grown and formed up in the upper canopy of this very jungle-like terrain. So tell me, what do you guys find yourself doing at this time?
I think during the downtime, Locris would have tried to reach out to Drevin to discuss the crystal possibly in the Shadow realm, whichever.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You basically you have Lorelei has temporarily extended a portion of her house to kind of accommodate you guys. So you have it's not a proper bedroom, but you have like a small cubby that is essentially blankets and furs hung from the ceiling to give you a bit of privacy. But yeah, in your own kind of little cubby, in your own kind of like room in Lorelei's cabin, you begin to meditate. Go ahead and give me a religion check.
Was that a religion roll, you said?
Correct, religion check.
24.
God damn, okay. So what do you ask of Drassic Riven as you kind of, as you focus, and you fall somewhere between the state of sleep and awake? You find yourself traveling fast, almost like in the ethereal realm, uncomfortably so. Butterflies in the stomach. It's hard to open your eyes, and when you stop, you see yourself hovering in a dark throne room. You see this, entity, probably 20 feet tall, humanoid, but no distinct, no distinct features, just swirling darkness and shadow. And there are several skeletons in the room. One, they seem to be adorned in various robes, but one of them holds a clipboard and is kind of checking things off of it and speaking with Jurassic. And yes, my lord. And another thing, we must address. And Jurassic stops him, raises a hand and stops him from speaking. He notices your presence and he says, You can't see any features, but you feel like an audible sigh of relief. Whether you felt it legitimately in the room or it was some sort of psychic connection, you're not sure. But you get the distinct impression that Jurassic is happy to see you. So we will deal with this later. I have much to discuss with my ward. He points to the door, and the skeletons flee as if they are being hurt or whipped, slamming the door behind them. You now find yourself projected in front of your patron. The lone wolf. What offers me the pleasure? He gestures for you to come sit by his throne.
I approach and Lord Jurassic, on our travels, we have discovered something disturbing. A dark trickster god named, and I can't find my note and it's failing me. Nazul, Nigel.
Nerul. No, Nigel, it's an upgrade.
Nerul is coming to destroy our reality. Sent crystals to different realms. We have taken care of one in the material plane as well as in the Fey realm. However, there's also one here in Shadowfell. I do not know if you are aware of this or have already taken care of it.
I was not aware, but tingling with a god like Nerul is not a battle Shadowfell can win alone. We should look into this further. He reaches out and from across the room, a golden pedestal kind of slides from the shadows. It rushes to his hand and a crystal ball sits atop it. And he says, "Pardon the intrusion, but I need something." And you feel him dive into your mind and see what you have seen and feel what you had feel. He makes you relive those intense moments where you and Logos were being smothered to death by the black vines. But he gets a good visual image of these crystals and focuses on it before snapping out of your mind and kind of going back. He throws his hand over the crystal and it begins to glow. And suddenly it's as if you are high above this castle in Shadowfell, this tower that you now reside in. And it flies across the landscape at breakneck speeds. And it slows to a forest. And then within this forest there is also a cave. And within this cave, there are torches and an altar. You don't see the crystal proper, but its reflection, its glow, you recognize. Someone's back is turned to the sky. Someone's blocking it almost somehow. Someone, as you kind of look forward, Chris, go ahead and give me a perception check.
23.
As you focus, you know exactly who this is. You might have traded off a few of your memories in the Feywild, but not this one. This person absolutely tormented you through most of your childhood. You see Pikir hunched over, somewhat deformed from the last time you've seen him. It looks like he is no longer a paladin of the Dusk Mother, but rather some wretched undead creature. He hovers over an altar to Nerul, and he speaks to himself. Not let me help, eh? I'm gonna have the last word. Yeah, I am. He rubs his hands together, and Drassic kind of looks to you. What should we do about this?
I believe you had his soul in a crystal, and I'm assuming I either released it or it was somehow allowed to escape. So I think something more permanent should be done so he cannot escape again.
Agreed. He grabs you, and you are wreathed in shadow. An explosion of darkness just erupts from the both of your bodies, and as it comes to, as you focus up, you are where the crystal had just shown you. With Drassic in hand, he kind of stands behind you, seeing what you will do about the situation. He gives you a good mental nudge. A test, I suppose. How will you rule? He kind of gestures that you should deal with the situation, and Pike here is hovering. He's kind of hunched over this crystal on the altar. This altar is clearly an altar to Nerul. It's got skulls and scythes all over it. And he is like deep in prayer. He's like muttering to himself and whispering, various chants for Nerul. He is completely unaware of your guys' arrival.
Okay, so he's unaware we're there. I am going to cast Hold Monster on him.
Okay, yeah, for sure. What is the DC?
It is Wisdom 18.
His wisdom is actually pretty good, but a 12 on the die comes out to a 16. That's a fail.
So as he's held in place, and I can feel my spell take, I'm going to reach into my bag. I'm going to pull out. Where do I have it? I want to say it's a small red ruby. And I set it off to cast Zone of Truth with him in it.
All right, and that save is con. What was that save?
He didn't give me anything on it. Let me pull up the spell. It is a charisma saving throw.
Oh man, so this is one of those rare times when, due to the modifier being so low, I actually rolled in the negatives. So I don't suppose -3 would beat your modifier, no?
Only if you do that. No, because even if you reverse it, where it like starts from 0 to the highest number, it'd still be a 20 then, and drop it down to 18 or 17. So still fails.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you feel your second spell take hold. He is not able to resist.
Go up and spin him around and. Well, hello there, Pet here.
His eyes are just wide as his lip kind of trembles. You no insight check needed. He is terrified.
What do you have going on here?
Nothing at all.
Nothing. He's in the zone of truth.
Oh, absolute lie for sure. So he, as he kind of like shifts and uncomfortably, he rather than outright lie, I think he would elect to say nothing. He shakes his head no. That's all he does.
I call forth my packed weapon in the shape of garden shears, and I cut his middle finger off.
All right. Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
Ooh, and now 20 for 30.
I rolled pretty decent, but it ain't gonna beat 30. He spills the beans. I'm sorry. I tried to make it right, and I didn't cut it with the Dutch mother, and it was really difficult. And I kind of blamed you for not letting me help, because that was kind of the fucking deal with the Dutch mother, was that I was supposed to eventually help the people that I've harmed some way, and you kind of fucked it because you wouldn't let me help, because you're kind of an asshole. And well, it kind of fucked me. And he kind of gestures to himself, as he was already kind of ghoulish before, but he is, not only is he undead, but he doesn't look near as healthy. This body he is in has deteriorated greatly. And he's like, well, and so I reached out and something reached back, and I like him. He makes me feel strong. And he told me if I take care of this crystal here, I can have all of the everything. I can have all the gold. I can live on any plane that I want. I could kill you and eat your heart. That's he promised me it all. So I told him I would, and he gave me these enchantments to kind of keep it hidden. But I suppose I was trying to keep it more hidden from you and not him. He points to the ominous, 20-foot shadow man standing fucking, 15 feet behind you.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, aren't you?
Well, yes.
Yes. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to destroy this thing. Okay?
Oh shit!
And then I'm going to kill
don't
you.
do it. No, I mean, it's no. Come, no, don't. Just leave it be. It's fine. Talk to him. He'll help you. He'll help you real good. He's stronger than him. He points to Jurassic.
Yes, I've already had interactions with Nerul, and we don't see eye to eye. Because he'll make you powerful, world that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, Chris, I know we don't see eye to eye, but don't smash the crystal. Use it. It could be, it's a piece of a god relic. It's something quite fascinating. You should use it. Use it. He gestures to the crystal on the altar. It's power. You can just take it. Do it.
No, you're right. It can be useful. Then I'm going to walk up to it, do my glove of or giant might. Switch my weapon to the morning star with the radiant light coming from it, and then I'm going to smash it.
All right, give me an attack roll.
24.
And I assume with your modifiers you're going to do more than 5 damage, but you could roll it out if you'd like.
4 plus 7 is 9 plus 2.
Yeah, it's enough. As you smash this crystal with radiant energy, it explodes into just dust. Glowing dust scatters across the room, and as far as it scatters, it suddenly stops and begins drawing in on itself, almost as if a black hole is sucking all this glowing stardust into itself. And as it does so, though you and Jurassic seem to feel only the lightest of breezes, Pikir seems to be struggling against gale-forced winds, and as he struggles to not be sucked towards the center of this, what remains of this crystal, as it implodes on itself, he kind of goes gliding by you. He's unable to stop himself. He reaches out his hand. He says, "Locris, help! I've never asked you for nothing, but if you could help." He holds his hand out to you, and it is losing flesh rapidly. He goes from being a zombified hand to being a very skeletal hand, and it seems he is being slowly sucked into this implosion.
I take his middle finger that I chopped off, stick it between my fingers where my middle finger would be, and flip him off with it.
And as you do that, he reaches out. He fights with everything in his being to not be sucked into this implosion. And at the very last moment, lightning fast, a skeletal arm reaches out of this imploding crystal, grabs him by the back of the head, and rips him through it, and then is gone, leaving nothing in the room but a broken altar to Nerul. Jurassic turns to you. Nicely done. Hopefully, the crisis is averted.
No, but it's another step closer to that. Still have one in the upper planes and one in the lower planes.
Well, if you need me, I'll be here. And with a flash, you are both, not really a flash, with ever-consuming darkness. The two of you are suddenly in his throne room once more. If you don't need anything else, I do have some matters to attend to. He kind of lets out a sigh as he seems kind of bored, and you definitely spot several skeletons occasionally like peeking in the room, official looking types dressed up in robes, carrying tomes and various clipboards, etc.
That was the only thing of import.
Well, good. Stop by more often. Time moves different down here. I haven't seen you in like 300 years.
Nice.
And with that, you are kind of forced back into your body. That being said, let's Gladier. We're gonna move to you. What do you think you'd be doing in this time frame of a couple of days after your previous adventure?
All right. He would definitely be spending some time with his nice, shiny new Kopesh of the Prism, getting used to the new weight and its abilities. Like attuning to that, essentially. Uh, Also, on that note, would you mind sending me the details of the weapon just whenever you get a second? No rush.
Yeah, sure. I'll drop it into chat. But essentially, it's a +3 weapon. Whenever it is unsheathed, you cast the light spell. It has a permanent light spell on the blade, so whenever it's unsheathed, you have the light spell going. And on top of that, once per long rest, on any attack that deals radiant damage, you may add your level to said radiant damage.
Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, other than that, he would probably be taking a much needed rest. Because he knows they're probably not going to be staying very long and moving on to other adventures. So he'd probably like take at least half a day where he just like does nothing, like maybe goes back to like the hot springs and just like relaxes. Um, Also, he would open up that package he got because I know I opened up the letter from Valinor, um, saying like we got the access to like Gethmara Keep and that plot of land. But I can't remember if I actually opened up. I think it's in the notes. It says I got a large golden package as well. Did I? I can't remember if I opened that one yet.
So the letter was from Valinor, but the package was actually the deeds to the land and the contracts for several servants. So it was mostly paperwork that you received, but you did get the title to a ranch and several heads of cattle and a portion of Gethmara Keep and some farmland and etc. etc.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so he would, just be relaxing and probably kind of letting that news, like the good news from Hortonshire, kind of just soak in because I mean he spent like 10 years on the run essentially, after his family was killed and their keep got overrun, and so like he's probably taking some time to absorb all the information like that. Everything's working on its way back to normal. Like he has a home to go back to now once um once their adventures are done and they've, I don't know, saved the fucking world, I guess. He has like a home to go back to, so that probably hits him pretty hard. So he's just probably spending a decent amount of time just probably being alone. Um, maybe walking through the forest, just soaking in this revelation that's yeah.
Okay, yeah. Between after you go for a good soak, and do a little bit of relaxing, maybe wander a few paths through the forest, as most of the village is high above, so it's easy to pick a deer trail and just kind of wander about. You don't see a whole lot in the way of people coming and going, but go ahead and give me a perception check, anyways.
Oh, that's actually a good perception check for later. 16 on the die for 17. I actually get advantage because he probably want to be walking around fully armored, so I doubt he'd have a shield. So 17.
Okay, 17. With a 17, you're just kind of walking around the forest, and the people of Nightwood are sometimes a little different. You've definitely seen some, we'll call it like patchwork armor, or people who are wearing clothes that are, like just fox and squirrel skins stitched together, etc. But As you're kind of walking around the forest, you notice that there's not, there's a little bit of wildlife here and there, but there's not a lot of people in this, particular neck of the woods. And as you wander about, an old man, badly balding, yet with many wisps of shoulder-length gray hair, a scraggly and unkept white beard with stains of red and brown around the mouth. He smiles a toothy grin as he sees you, missing several teeth. Those that remain are broken, cracked, and yellowed. Piercing blue eyes cut out from a weathered, cracked, and time-beaten face. The man is lean, frail-looking. He wears only a tattered loincloth, and he is filthy. Blotches of dirt and soot darken his mostly nude, pale body. He holds up a single plank of wood. Crudely carved into the plank are the words, "Repent." And he just stares at you in the middle of the woods.
Well, that's not ominous. I think he would definitely be curious. Have I, like, is this like far into the woods? Like, have I wandered far away from the main?
We'll say you could still hear the active village behind you. You're not too far, but you are definitely a bit outside of town for sure.
Going on this walk, he probably would have. He's feeling safer now here, so he probably wouldn't be fully armored up, like I said. And maybe just like a dagger on his hip. So he'd probably like put his hand on the pommel of the dagger, not threateningly, just kind of like placing it there. And then just kind of walk up and just be like, hey there, I couldn't help but so you got this sign here. You know something is coming, or what are you asking people to repent for? Or encouraging, I suppose.
He looks at you and cocks his head and then gestures for you to follow. And he scrambles up the nearest tree, surprisingly agile for a frail-looking old man.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm assuming this is like the next day, so that, like I can take the long rest. I never.
Oh yeah, you're good to go. You have all your health and abilities for sure.
So I'm going to. I'm gonna try and quietly cast protection from evil and good on myself. Just first level spell, and then I will try to climb up after him. My athletics are pretty. Oh, my plus 11 athletics. Yeah, that's right.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
so
athletics check for sure. What does your protection from evil and good look like?
So he would just. He's still wearing his ever-present double-sided coin on the leather cord around his neck, where one side is fucking God. I'm a terrible paladin. I can't remember my deity's name.
Whore?
Halo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pelor and Whore.
To be fair, don't you have like 3 at this point?
So I think he kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the technical term. Like gave up on Palor, or not Palor, Horror after like the whole Silver Queen and her concubine wizard lady bullshit. So I think he maybe would have like scratched out the visage of Horror on one side and wears that like facing his chest, and so on the other side is Palor, like the symbol of Palor, which I think is like a sun or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Correct. But Palor's main domain is good and sunlight.
Yeah. So he would probably just like tap the amulet um, with his fingers and just say like a quick prayer, and then just like kind of like a soft like pulse of like golden radiant light just kind of like spreads over his body, and then he would start climbing up the tree after the creepy old Spider-Man.
All right. What was your athletics check?
19.
Yeah. You just through just sheer strength. It's a lot. You're a lot more maneuverable when you don't have a whole adventuring pack and a full suit of armor on. You'd be surprised. You scramble up the tree, even more nimble than the old man before you. And as you get up to the tree, he's just kind of sitting on a branch. He pulls a fruit out of the tree, looks something similar to a mango. Takes a bite. He gestures for you to sit by him.
Yeah, he would sit down next to him.
He hands you a mango.
Uh, yeah, I'll take. Oh God, I'm so fucking suspicious now of everyone. This is probably just a sweet old man. Um, yeah, I'd take the mango. I don't have like detect poison or anything. I'll take the mango, but before I take a bite, can I just like look at it to see if it does it look, I don't know, like good? Does it look like it's maybe like rotting or it's been like tampered with, or does it just look like a regular?
Go ahead and give me. Well, I'll let you pick: perception, insight, or investigation. You tell me.
Definitely investigation. That's a 12.
As you kind of look at it, you look at it and you see this little bunch that he has just plucked his off, and it looks like it came from the same spot. It's freshly picked, like within seconds.
Yeah, so he would just kind of give him a nod and just, well, thank you, and then take a bite of the mango.
It's it's a little bit not where it should be in ripeness, but it's just a little green, But essentially, it's okay for a mango. A little subpar, but normal flavor.
Uh,
Nice picture there, look. What the fuck?
I have to bring that out for YouTube. But what the fuck, dude? I didn't know Chat GPT could do that.
It's impressive.
That makes open the whole world of opportunities.
Funny. So this old man, he holds up this plank of wood, then that he has scratched the words "repent" into, and he points to the plank of wood. And then he moves a tree branch full of leaves to reveal the night sky. And he points. As you kind of look out, you see a normal night sky, a full moon and many stars. But one thing that catches your eye: a comet streaking off in the distance. Definitely a peculiar celestial event. But you see it, a long gray tail, and this orb, this ball seems to be slowly shooting off in the cosmos. And as a paladin, just looking upon this star, something sinks in your gut. You feel evil just by staring at it.
I think Glaive's gonna kind of let out like a heavy sigh, and look back to the old man and just so you can feel it too. It's, it's not good, right?
He sets his sign down and he begins to laugh. And as he laughs, he throws 2 thumbs up. And he laughs and doesn't stop. His laughs seem to be getting more intense, more hysterical. Gladiator, go ahead and give me another perception check.
Is that perception?
Correct. Perception check.
Oh, that's not as good. That's a 6.
As this man laughs at you repeatedly and more hysterically, you notice he doesn't seem to have a tongue.
Shit. Uh, and he's still just like still laughing, like he hasn't stopped or paused or anything.
He's laughing hysterically and out of control. He's laughing so hard, he is almost actively trying not to fall out of this tree and probably kill himself. Like, he is literally putting himself in danger at how hysterically he has begun laughing.
Uh, is there something I can do right now?
We're going to leave you right there with that crazy old man as we flip the script on over to, let's say, Blade. Blade, a couple of days. What do you find yourself doing with a little bit of downtime?
I would imagine Blade is probably, well, first of all, he probably spent some time attuning to his new uh, double neck loot, which he's super stoked about. Kind of playing around with it, just kind of seeing what it's able to do. Maybe even thinking of like I wasn't sure if it like the loot had come with like a name yet, or if Blade come up with a name, but um, so he's just kind of like pondering around, playing with it, kind of seeing what's up with it, and more so actually kind of going over the letter that Venrir had sent.
Okay, yeah. We'll say, where do you think you would kind of be doing these kind of activities? You have some free lodging at Logos's or Lorelei's cabin, but you're also kind of renowned, so you probably easily get your own booth at a local tavern, or there's hot springs, a couple of rooms available. So, where do you think you'd be doing this?
Probably in a like for now in like a more like private spot. Yeah, maybe like I don't know if there's any like kind of like wooded areas or like and just like somewhere like kind of off the beaten path a little bit, almost like he's like, hey, I'm gonna go for a walk, just kind of like check out for a little bit.
Oh, easily done. It's all too easy to find yourself a little uh, trail and go find yourself a little quiet piece of nature. So,
Yeah, just kind of spend some time with it and really Blade is kind of forgot about home quite a bit for a long time. So it's kind of hitting him a little bit to get this letter and trying to decide what to do.
you kind of, as you're, wandering or maybe just hanging out in a quiet area of the forest, fondling this letter, it's go ahead and give me an insight check.
All right, insight. Believe it or not my strongest trait. Damn. All right, 21. Let's go.
Okay, give me a sec. I'm going to disconnect and reconnect, and we'll get to it.
No problem.
Nude?
All right.
I don't know that I could really turn down that opportunity.
How am I sounding? Choppy? Chip choppity? No? Yes? Okay, good.
Sounding crispy.
With a 21 insight check, I would say you get a sense that Darius doesn't have a lot of folks left in and around to reach out to, and you know him fairly well, and if he's asking for your help, it's because he's already tried and failed, most likely, and you are his last resort. You know that if you don't help him, nobody will.
All right. So obviously Blade will kind of focus in on that a little bit, and once he's kind of um, gotten to kind of experiment with the loot a little bit more, the double neck loot, he is going to kind of make his way back to town and just kind of um, maybe post up at the bar for a little bit, because he knows what he's going to have to do, but just kind of want to take his mind off of it because he doesn't want to go back home. So maybe go back to the tavern, have some drinks, and start performing.
All right. As you make the short walk back to town and you find your way up back into the branches and the various rope bridges of Xanathia, you make your way to Mikey's pub. And as you walk in, it's the first time that you walked into this pub ever in your life that people didn't immediately start clapping and handing you alcohol. There is a huddled mass around this like billboard in the back room, or on the back wall rather, and yeah, there's like 20 people crowded around this small message board, shoving and reading and gossiping. You hear whispers and gossip, etc. Even Mikey does not acknowledge your presence as you walk in the bar.
It's kind of a foreign feeling for Blade. He'll kind of like curiously make his way up, maybe kind of like weave, through the crowd, hand behind his back as he's kind of holding on to his loot, just to kind of secure it as he's walking through everyone, and maybe see if I can get eyes on what's the hustle and bustle around here. Why is everyone crowded here?
Blade, it doesn't take long before you find your way to what appears to be a posted flyer, or rather a man posting a flyer. This man is unmistakably dressed in the dark red and golden robes of the land of Tyrna. This is absolutely a royal messenger from your homeland. And he seems to be tacking up a very sort of official notice. Not only is it thick parchment, it appears to be trimmed in gold. And as he nails it to the message board, turns around, he seems annoyed. He seems almost as if he has smelled something stank. With his nose held high, he wafts his cloak and just kind of struts through the crowd to the bar and sits down. Mikey, of course, tears his eyes away from the parchment and runs up. Oh, hey, Blade, how are you? You need a bit of some honey mead? Let me tend to this fella real quick. He goes over and has some hushed words with this gentleman and brings him a top shelf brand of wine, the entire bottle and a glass. And the man pours it himself, sniffs it, and takes a sip as he just kind of sits very pompous and judgingly.
So kind of like as he kind of turns to me and kind of gives me this look, Blade will kind of give him a little bit of like a similar, like distasteful, just kind of, well, all right, I know what you're all about. But he's gonna look to the kind of the parchment that he's nailed up and see what exactly his business is.
So you kind of have to push your way through the crowd a little bit, but you come across this flyer. The King's Tournament. Yearn for title, wealth, influence? Introducing the King's Tournament, sanctioned by His Royal Majesty of Tirna himself. With no heir, the king has agreed to cede his crown, wealth, and power to whomever is capable of placing first in his tournament. What you need to know. Entry fee, 1,000 gold pieces. Where? Any government office within the borders of Tirna. Individual entries only. Each participant may bring up to 4 private personnel to accompany them on their trials. Bodyguards and advisors are suggested to all serious applicants. The first event is set to take place at the Emerald Shores Opera House. Arrive prepared. Sign up for a shot at changing your future forever. Sign up for hope. Sign up for dreams. Sign up not only for the people of Tirna, but all of Daanal Wisech. Sign up. And it's all written in liquid gold.
Blade will just kind of be like, typical of Tirna. Of course. Blade is going to. So you said this gentleman is still. He took a seat and got some really top shelf
Correct.
stuff.
This is definitely a royal messenger. He's got like the garb, flowing red and gold. You know, it's like velvet with gold trim. And yeah, he clearly is a messenger from Tirna, and not just like a courier, like official business only. This is like a government or royal courier.
I guess Blade will make his way over to him. He's kind of if there's a seat next to him or near him, I'll kind of station up and maybe just order a beverage, maybe something just to like I don't know, kind of poke at him, just something like bottom of the barrel, gross that would gross this guy out.
Yeah. Mikey for sure brings you over like a cup of grog in like a rough looking wooden mug. Yeah, it's on the house for you. You're good to go.
Thank you, Mikey. And I guess Blade is going to kind of like turn and not really look at the courier or the like this messenger here, but just kind of stare forward, looking at his glass, and it's going to be like, seems you're a little out of place here. Got some nice clothing, Tina, I'm assuming.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. Damn. Yeah. He first, he comes off as like being rather pompous, as if he almost like was trying to act like he didn't hear you, but he seemed to have like flattered him a little bit. Yes, they are royal garb, given to only those who are capable of bearing official business from one place to another. I assume all of these tree folk are the same. This is the 5th village that I've stopped in, and it's all tree houses and hippies and strong mead. He gestures to Mikey, who's like sharing a shot of moonshine with a couple of wood elves.
Yes. It'd be hard to find a suitable figure for, amongst many villages of hardworking people. You tell me.
I
So the
just
king
pray.
has no.
I pray a peasant doesn't win that tournament, please. Ugh, it'd be disgusting.
Oh, wouldn't it be awful?
Truly, truly awful.
So why is it that the king is so eager to find an heir?
That's just it. There is no heir. The king is old. The king is a human, and he is very old for a human. North of 200 years. Some say it's his various adventures or enchantments or who knows, perhaps the realms that he ventured to preserved him somehow, but nonetheless, no kin, ever. Never produced an heir, never took a wife. And about 30 years ago, when the king did more than breathe on his deathbed, he declared that if he should not have an heir, that towards the end of his life, when he finally kicked the bucket, the king's tournament shall commence, and through trials and tribulations, the next king of Tirna would be chosen. And he himself is said to have put the trials and tribulations together. So, he wants us to spread the word to every country, every corner, every village or city or town, or even, who knows, cave people. I don't know. The lizard folk, I've heard, are not great. But even them, we spread the word far and wide to find our new king, I suppose. I just pray it's not a peasant. He takes a big drink of wine.
Blade will kind of follow and take a swig of this beverage that he's got. Probably pretty gross, so he'll kind of try to just muscle it down without showing any sort of wincing or any obvious signs.
Go ahead and give me a con save.
Oh, Christ. All right, cons. Okay. Forgot I'm a bard. Oh, yeah. This will do. I'm sure of it. All right, 26.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it does taste terrible. It's thick. It's some sort of like fermented milk that gets you drunk. It's fucking terrible, but you handle it.
I might just like try to pretend to cough and just turn the other way back, like kind of like almost like a kind of a half puke. But um, I'll play cool and just kind of turn and look at this messenger and be like, "So, how are things in Tirna? It's been a while since I visit."
Well, I'm all over the place, and it's pretty much the same as it always was. The king being on his deathbed doesn't do anybody any favors. All the local would-be nobles are up in arms about his decision, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry is throwing their 2 cents into this tournament. Now, it's been, I don't know, a month since I've set foot inside the borders of Tirna, and when I left, there were over 1,000 applicants for the tournament. So, it's going to be massive. It's going to have an incredible turnout, and leave it to a 200-year-old adventurer on his death throes to leave our entire country to some random being. I've heard that not only are people venturing from the various corners of Daanal Wisech, the word of a kingdom has gotten out beyond our realm. Fae have come to Tirna, and so have some less than desirable folks. Undead of sorts. Sentient ones, but still. Repelled and slain. All seeking to join the tournament. Fear it's only a matter of time before some otherworld entity decides it wants a shot at a kingdom. Of course, gods like Pelor sitting in a shiny hall aren't going to try to come take a small kingdom in the north of Daanal Wisech, but demons might, or lesser gods of various persuasions. I think, really, if I had to choose, perhaps a peasant is not the worst thing. But it would be absolutely terrible.
Oh, it wouldn't be great, but there are far worse things than peasants. So, I mean, I took a look at this parchment that you'd put up, this note, and it's 1,000 gold entry fee. And was that the only qualifying matter?
Yes, and hopefully that's enough to keep out the peasants. He stressfully finishes his glass of wine and refills it enough. That's the only requirement. And like I said, the treasury has raked in over 1 million coins before I left. There are entries coming in from every neck of the wood and then some.
Well, with a 1,000 gold coin entry fee, I think a lot of these peasants wouldn't be able to afford it.
I was hoping that's why they instituted it, but I wasn't sure. But I mean, it's got to be. I mean, really. A potato farmer for a king. It's absurd.
Oh, could you imagine? And Blade is going to turn around and just kind of look into the into the tavern and be like, "Do we have any potato farmers here?"
Literally everyone in the tavern raises their hands like, yeah, I grow potatoes. Yeah, what's up?
One of you, pick a number between 1 and 10.
14. No. 8. No. The another guy's like, 6?
I'll take the 14. You come forward.
It's kind of a scraggly young lad, mid-teens probably. A little bit of acne. Hasn't quite grown into himself. Big Adam's apple.
I'll put my hand on his shoulder and be like, you are the youth of today's society and the promise of a better future. Take this. And I'm going to hand him 1,000 gold. And I'm going to say, there's a tournament in Tirna to be the king. And I think you've got what it takes. My humble potato farmer.
But, I mean, Mr. Silverstring, that's a whole lot of money. I don't know if I could handle that kind of money. Boys, we're going to Tirna! And a bunch of people just, yeah, they cheers and they send around to everyone in the bar. Everybody gets handed a honey mead from Mikey.
And I'll turn back to the kind of the messenger and just be like, well, it'd be a shame to not have everyone involved, wouldn't it? We want it to be fair. Isn't that like a democratic kind of view?
You, sir, are the things nightmares are made of. Good day. He storms out of the bar and leaves his bottle of wine and half-drink glass behind.
As he walks off, Blade will take his glass and finish it. Make his way over to the board there and pull down the I guess the flyer to eventually bring to the party.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And with that, we're going to move on over to Renwick. Renwick, what do you... Got a couple of days after your last venture in the village of Xanathia. What do you find yourself doing?
So I imagine Renwick kind of. I mean, we've kind of been through the shit, and we haven't had a lot of downtime. And then he receives a letter from his father, which like I feel like they went through like a pretty emotional reunion, and it was like some good, some bad. Like lost his mom, lost Arthur, his dad's best friend that he grew up with, and kind of went through all this shit. And he gets this letter from his dad, and somehow, amidst all of this fuckery, his dad has managed to like successfully franchise the Crooked Cock, and uh, it's like bittersweet. So I think he takes some time to himself. It kind of seems like everybody's finally taking some time. We've been kind of stuck together a little too long. And amidst that, I think he kind of seeks some space outside of town, preferably near like a body of water. And I think he kind of goes to commune, recognizing that like in the letter that his dad wrote, he was talking about like, oh, I've franchised the taverns, I'm hiring people and firing people, like I'm learning how to run a business, and like I'm missing your mom. And then kind of ends the letter with his father's wondering about Arthur and how he's been doing. And I think it goes from these like peaceful memories to Renwick kind of like getting flashes of seeing Arthur slowly become this emissary of the Kraken. And the last time we saw him, to my recollection, it was Arthur on my boat in the harbor getting raided, and it went up in flames. And so I think it kind of ends on like a very bittersweet kind of like snap out of this communion, trying to like seek, like Arthur is connected to this Kraken. So like maybe I could see where Arthur's at these days, but like it's those flashbacks.
Yeah.
I just talked a lot. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. Awesome. Go ahead and give me a religion check there, Renwick.
I just want to put out there that was brought to you in HD Archie Vision.
I mean, that's kind of like the camera angle that I was picturing in a weird way. That's that's a flat 14 because I am non-religious.
Okay, so with a flat 14, I'll say, as you kind of just occasionally, it's almost like a flashback. Maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's something that's happening now that you're just tuning into. You have no idea what it is or how you're seeing it, but if you calm yourself, if you think and feel the Kraken, if you make an attempt to connect, there is something there, something in the back of your mind that you're not even quite sure what it is. And a flash, you are underwater, but you're not you. You're Arthur? You're not. No, you're near him. You look over and you see this dark water bubbling ferociously, and Arthur is riding some sort of like some large species of seahorse, and he is racing quite fast across the bottom of a seafloor, and it is cracking and bubbling, and lava is occasionally spewing out, causing deadly jets of steam to erupt all around Arthur as he navigates rather quickly through this field of steam. You watch as Arthur crashes headlong into Neologoth, the demon that haunts your sleep, the demon that took Lagos from Logos. And he crashes into him with his a trident, and a bright light explodes. It sends the demon reeling backwards, and as he recoils to what is inevitably land a killing blow on the oh-so-small Arthur, surprisingly fast in the water, darts away at a speed unfathomable, and several tentacles reach out of the darkness and crush the demon. Spurts of black blood just kind of wave through the water as a demonic sword grip is relinquished on a demonic sword, and it sails from his hand straight down into the darkness. And snap, back to reality. You find yourself sitting in your own private little cubby in the cabin of Lorelei. Similar to a bedroom, but rather than walls, you have curtains and cloths and pelts and things drawn.
Yeah, I mean, with no recollection of sort of like how he returned to this familiar spot, I think he just kind of internalizes all of this as he's trying to make sense of sort of this like omnipotent thing he's tied himself to at combat with this terrifying fucking creature that is linked to Logos. But getting that vision, I think it kind of bolsters him, and it also terrifies him. I think he knows when we're all gonna come back together, and just kind of takes his space, and almost is like a silent, a period, is just kind of like processing all of that.
Okay, yeah. So you find yourself just kind of, for whatever reason, it was like you were in a trance. Perhaps you started there. Did you walk back to your personal quarters at Lorelei's? You're not sure. But as you kind of find yourself coming to, Lorelei, kind of, you hear her rustling about, and a rather large squirrel with a, we'll call it, lack of awareness of personal space, walks right into not only your little private area, this little cubby or bedroom you've kind of been gifted, but he walks right up to you and then just climbs you. He climbs you and he looks you eye to eye and squeaks. Squeak. So, how would you react to, I would say, a roughly, it's about a 30-pound squirrel. Like, it's a dire squirrel. It is a huge fucking squirrel. And, this squirrel is almost the size of you, Renwick, as it kind of, like, pins you to, climbs up you, sticks both of its paws on either of your shoulders, and stares into your face longingly with a loud chirp.
I mean, I feel like initially his like just his mind has wandered so far at this point that this jarring thing landing on it, he's like, "Oh God, for fuck's sake, just end it!" And then he looks up and it's Cookie, and he's just like, "Oh," and takes a deep breath. He's like, I feel like I've gone a bit nutty, but I have to say that you're very grounding right now." And he sort of just like slowly puts his arms up around Cookie and pulls him in for a tight hug and just like nuzzles into the fluff. And it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like borderline panic attack.
He ruffles a bit around in his fur, accepts your embrace, and leaves a small piece of a mostly eaten almond cookie on your lap before just freezing solid briefly. He looks alert, and he just peels out of the house, just runs as fast as he can. Woof, gone. You hear a loud crash in the living room, and Lorelei, damn it, Cookies. She peeks into your room. Oh, sorry about that. How about a spot of tea? Did he come maul you a little bit?
And Renwick with like a sheer coat of just like flop sweat all over him from this like vision, just looks up and says, that that would be absolutely lovely. I think I've gotten myself a bit worked up. I could use a breather and some tea. Thank you so much.
She smiles. Not a problem, darling. It takes her, only a few moments, as if maybe she was making tea for herself anyway. But she brings you like a small tray with a small like teapot and some various like sugars and honeys and things, and she just kind of sets it in your room with you. If you need a bit of privacy, don't mind me. I won't be here long.
Oh no, absolutely. Your presence is quite calming. You're more than welcome to hang around. I've gone through a lot lately, so I'm feeling very vulnerable.
Well, that'll happen, son. It's just part of what y'all signed up for. Adventuring ain't for the weak of heart. So, I recommend maybe you lean on your friends. If you don't figure out something soon, it might eat you up on the inside. Not worth it.
Yeah.
Nothing that costs you your peace is worth it there, son. Just remember that.
Oh, you're certainly right there. I appreciate the insight, and I'm lucky to have such a wonderful group of friends, your son included, uh, to go through all of this with. I'd say it's been quite some time, and we've seen our fair fair pile of shit over the years. It's not even been years; it's just gone by. But either way, I thank you for your hospitality and everything. And he just kind of like sinks back with his tea, and he just stares off like into the mug.
I'm gonna roll an insight check for her. Pretty good. She cocks an eyebrow at you. All right, son. And she lights an incense in the room, and then well, I've got a few things to do and people to see, so you're welcome here as much as you'd like. Better get to those cookies before Cookies does. And she kind of gestures to some freshly made cookies on the table, and then departs for the medicine tree where she is needed. Look, Chris, that was a good comeback. Sorry. Ah, funny. Okay. Renwick left sipping some tea. We're gonna jump on over to Logos. Logos. A couple of days have have passed since your last adventure, since our last session. What do you find yourself doing in Xanathia for a couple of days?
Being annoyingly like overprotective and like trying to be like overly helpful to Tardok since she's carrying my child.
Ooh, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Well, that's gonna be bad. I think it's a straight roll. I fucked it up. I rolled a 5.
Okay. So Tardok, at first when you're trying to, just help out and kind of you're being a little overprotective, etc. At first, she just kind of tolerates it, but it's not long before she just not is really gruff with you, but also like she'll go to like leave the room and you'll go to follow, and her soldiers will interject themselves between you and the doorway and not allow you to accompany her. And she's got some sort of communication with these tribeswomen of hers. And they're not taking any of your shit. They Tardok tires of you quickly and says, I do not need your help. I am perfectly capable. It is within our tribe that those who bear children are granted boons. And she kind of gestures to not only herself, but a few other half-orcs in this tribe are also pregnant. And in various stages, but all of the pregnant half-orcs are like a foot taller and 50 to 100 pounds thicker. You see bulging muscle and almost like a feral look in their eye and kind of to their actions as well. Like it seems that carrying a child grants this particular tribe a boon to their strength, their endurance, their capabilities. And she said, I will not have my extra boons wasted by your care. I appreciate it, but go elsewhere. You are needed elsewhere. And she storms off, and her tribe of the lioness soldiers actively block you from entering her private quarters.
So are they like forcing me out of the whole like barracks area, or like what I assume where they like gather?
It's like a great hall. They're not forcing you out, but they do not allow you to follow Tardok into her private chambers.
All right, fine. I'll leave. I'll like over exaggerate and like put on a show that I'm leaving. And then once I get outside, I'm gonna shapeshift into like a small, quick rodent and sneak into her room.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Great. D&D Beyond decides to be slow right now. I was signed out. Sorry. Bro, I don't even remember my login to D&D Beyond. Here we go.
Weird that you say that. I had to look up mine too. It's been like we haven't played in so long. I actually had to go look up my like username and password and shit.
Okay, I rolled a 19 stealth.
With with a 19 on her perception check, you do manage to get in. It's not a very, it's kind of like a great hall, but it's made of like bone and leather and various hides and things. You squeeze right in, and the second you do, her eyes are on you, and you guys kind of make eye contact briefly. And she's sitting on a rather lavish bed. She's got a desk in front of her. There's a large plate of what appears to be, rack of lamb. She has like a large bone with a bunch of red meat on it that she's actively eating as she's kind of staring at you. She also has a couple of books, a couple of candles, what looks to be like a large map, kind of laid out. And she just kind of stares at you from this chieftain's quarters. She slurps a bit of meat off the bone. He swallows. My dear prince, if that is you, I'm going to put you through that wall. And she maintains eye contact and takes another bite off of this piece of red meat.
I will do an insight check to see if she's genuinely like serious, or if like I have a chance to like flirt my way out of this.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
That's another 19.
Her calves and like ankles, you notice, like they kind of tense up as she is absolutely ready to jump across the room to your direction at a moment's notice, but she watches you.
Okay, I will do like my best impersonation of a rat. Like I'll just like, or a rodent. I don't even know what I said. Am I a rat right now?
Yeah, rodent, rat, mouse, whatever.
So, like, just like shuffle in, like sniff the floor, pretend to eat something, like kind of like do my best to be an authentic rat, and then see how serious she is. Pretend to like pick something up and then scurry out of the fucking room before she beats my ass.
I'm gonna say give me a performance check. How do you perform as a rat? I'll let you use performance or nature. Your call.
Believe it or not, they're both shit. It's kind of stupid that nature is an intelligence check, but I rolled a 15. Total.
A 15 roll for her insight. Oh, you lucky dog. 14 on the die. She buys that you are a regular critter, and as you exit, she calms herself and continues her meal and goes back to what she was doing.
Logus will scurry out and kind of get the sense that she needs her space right now, and he's been uh kind of a nuisance to her. So a little bruised and defeated, he'll leave and just kind of wander aimlessly throughout the town, not really having a purpose or a place to go now that his lady doesn't want him there.
Okay, as you kind of wander aimlessly throughout the town, you notice, since on account of your passive perception is wild, one thing you notice is somebody that's not from the village. And as you kind of approach, there's people walking about as well, going about their day. But a young woman with a pale white face and long dark hair. Her robes not only cling to her frame, but are made of lavish materials, grays and blacks mixed with reds and silver buttons and buckles and fasteners. They all gleam in the light, complementing the exceptional garb. She is handing out flyers, frantically, almost like in a panic. She runs from person to person, presenting them with a flyer Some people take it, and she is like so grateful and courteous, and it seems as if she is genuinely moved to the brink of tears anytime someone takes one of these flyers. Others dismiss her with like a hand gesture, and she shrieks, she cries, she begs, "Please, please take this. Read it once. Just read it once and then toss it. Please, just take this. Read it. It's only a few words. Please." And she begs people. She says, your very souls are threatened. She hastily moves from person to person frantically, nonstop, passing out flyers. I would make you roll perception, but your passive is way too high at this point. So I'm going to say, as she turns away from you to walk towards another person, a formation on her back. The grays, the blacks, and reds of her cloak. They form a symbol. That of a skull sitting atop a scythe.
Do I recognize this symbol?
It is the symbol of Nerul, the dark god you guys have seemed to be entangled with.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And could I see, like, is there a flyer like maybe someone threw away or dropped, or like if there's one nearby, if I can ask to see it?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Yeah, that's gonna be shit. Oops, I rolled intimidation, but I will just add. So 16 investigation.
Oh yeah, you easily find one of these discarded flyers. You open it up, and printed in 4 separate languages. I don't know if you know Common and Elven, but also a Halfling and Dwarven, it would seem. But in 4 different languages, this little flyer, and it reads, "The foe of all good will be arriving soon. Bend the knee, accept the boons, pray for patronage, and do it soon, or face the wrath of the king of all gloom."
And I assume she's talking about Nehru, right? Or Naru.
Yeah, you would know. Actually, go ahead and give me a religion check.
Well, that's also shit, Sean. You keep asking me for intelligence-based rolls. That's a 9.
A 9. You would assume she is talking about Nehru. Yes.
Okay. Maybe with my passive, or maybe make a perception check if need be. Is there anyone else wearing similar clothing to her here?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Yeah.
29.
I'm gonna say that you have to kind of wander around the village. You know, maybe you didn't think anything of it, and you wander aimlessly a bit longer. People coming and going and doing their thing, but you do notice that 3 in total, 3 separate women that all seem to be wearing this very like top-notch, high-end, expensive dress are passing out these flyers to a lot of your friends and neighbors. You haven't actually seen them together, but they're basically all wearing the same uniform. They're all wearing the exact same garb. So you can assume that they at least work together or know of each other, because these are not locals. These are not people from your village. You know that.
Okay, now that I know that she's not alone, are they all female? You said they were all female?
They are all female and they all kind of look alike. They are all pale with dark hair.
I'm gonna blend in with the crowd and just kind of keep an eye on these people for now. Um, don't want to do anything alone, but just kind of maybe do a little reconnaissance.
Okay, yeah. You keep an eye on these individuals, kind of stealthily. Go ahead and give me a stealth check and see if they notice you noticing them.
Good luck. Watch this. Roll it in chat. Skadoosh.
Oh, damn. Very nice. 28. Okay. I don't think there's a chance in hell, but I'll roll anyway. Now, 7 on the die. So yeah, you go unnoticed. You blend in with the crowd. You watch these ladies kind of do their thing. They are like in a panic trying to hand out these flyers. So it's almost like they're worried or scared or upset, but they vigorously for several hours just pass out flyers just to everybody and anyone. Anybody that comes by, and they're handing them out. If they happen by like a notice board or something, they always tack a couple up. Like they're doing everything they can to pass out a rather large stack of flyers. I'll say if you follow them long enough, eventually they will retire to kind of the Mikey's pub area, but not the pub proper. It would appear that the 3 of them have rented a single bedroom, and they go and lock themselves in their room for the evening.
For the second time, I'm gonna shapeshift into like a bug, a spider or something. Like I'm gonna go in there, and kind of use my stealth to my advantage. And you said they're all in one room?
Correct. All 3 of them bought a single, like a 1-person room, and they all went to it.
I'm gonna shapeshift into a spider and just like get close enough to where I don't have to walk far as a spider, and then just kind of go into the room and eavesdrop a little because they're giving Logus bad vibes, obviously.
Right. Okay, yeah, for sure. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. We'll say with advantage.
$25 total stealth as a spider.
Damn. All right, yeah. You creep into the room. The curtains are drawn closed. They clear off the bed. All 3 of them kind of just get comfortable, like in a kneeling position, and one of them takes out a vial of a dark kind of crimson liquid, and she splashes it on the bed on these like nice white sheets, and she draws quickly with her fingers the symbol of Nerul in blood on this sheet. It is the skull sitting atop a sickle, and they begin chanting. One of them lights a couple of candles on a nearby desk, and they begin chanting in a foreign tongue. Go ahead and give me. You can give me an investigation check. You can give me a Arcana check. You could give me a nature or even medicine check. Your call.
Out of all those, I would do medicine. It's not great. It's a 14 total.
Ooh, with a 14 medicine check, you're confident from the smell and texture that the crimson liquid they just poured on the white sheets isn't in fact goat's blood.
Okay. So does anything happen while they're chanting, or they just kind of just do that for a while?
They chant for a while and then seem to all kind of enter a meditative state, similar to how you sleep.
Is there any? Do they have any belongings in here? Anything noteworthy that catches my eye?
Each of them has a beautiful red leather with like silver buckles and fasteners, like satchel, a bag. And they are, like it's just like their clothes. They are top notch, high quality items.
Nothing else that isn't on their person, or like something that looks that can be snatched.
If you want to give me an investigation check, and I will say that they definitely have like a sleeping garb. It's just like a black, gown that they sleep in. So like they definitely removed their fancy street clothes and kind of like folded them gently and set them aside.
Dude, I'm rolling fucking rocks in D&D Beyond for having only +1. 17 total investigation.
Nice. 17 total on the investigation. You go and make your way into a couple of these bags. A preposterous amount of flyers has been made, like thousands. Like this bag weighs several pounds more than it should, and it's because of the copious amount of paper flyers. On top of that, you find a couple of pouches. One contains quite a bit of gold. The other contains quite a bit of like precious stones. You find candles. You find incense. You find essentially like scrolls that look to be like bound in like with wax and various like what is it, like hemp twine. And so as you kind of like make your way around these bags, they all contain something pretty similar to that.
And there's 3 of them, right?
Correct. 3 separate bags.
Okay. I am gonna pop out of my wild shape and attempt to snatch all 3 bags.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get another stealth check from you. I will say, with the curtains drawn and in this room, and just candlelight, it will count as low light.
That's a 21 total stealth.
Oh, you're so lucky. I rolled a dirty 20. But yeah, unnoticed as you take your humanoid form, gently and gingerly lift these bags, and make your way slowly and quietly out the door. You see, they don't move. They all seem to be in a trance-like state.
am going to head back. I'm gonna head to the nearest tree and cast Tree Stride back to my mother's tree. Just to look cool.
Excellent.
I want to like cast it to where like open up into like the living room if possible. I don't know how. I don't know if I can like pick that since we live in a tree.
Yeah, I mean, you're familiar enough with it. You would know what side and elevation you wanted to come out of the tree.
And so I like step into the tree and then come out into the living room in Logos's home, and then just look for one of my party mates.
Okay, well, we will say at this point, Renwick and Locris are in the domicile, but Blade and Locris, or no, Blade and Gladier, rather, just find themselves arriving. So, as the party kind of reunites, tell me how you guys proceed.
I like knock on where Renwick was having his tea and like call Locris over and show them what I found. Um, there was 3 strange women handing out these flyers in town today. I tailed them for a little bit. They did some weird chanting in the hotel room over at the bar, and I snuck in and stole their bags. And I don't want them sharing that filth in my town, spreading fear and causing panic. I thought it was the smart thing to do.
Well, at the very least, you delayed whatever they're trying to do until they can make up more of those flyers. But until neighbor rule is fully dealt with, I don't think it'll stop. I did happen to get in touch with Dracek and temporarily went to Shadowfell where we destroyed the crystal there. So that's 3 of them now gone.
Oh, well, shit, you just did make it sound like it's no big deal. Good on you.
Well, it was just Pike here, and he's a little bitch, so it really wasn't as difficult as our other adventures have been.
Well, hey, let's take the easy win where we can get it. Yeah, I actually ran into a strange guy. Logus, have you ever seen a really old guy wandering around town, like balding, wispy hair, super wrinkly? Don't think he has a tongue. He definitely didn't talk. But I mean, he had this like sign where he like carved in pence on it, and he followed him up into this tree, and he showed me well, it's the comet. You can see it in the sky now. It's getting closer. So I think with this guy and what you ran into with those people, people are definitely starting to notice.
Sean, would I know that guy, or is that another out of town weirdo?
Just to keep with the theme, just go ahead and give me a history check. Is that also intelligence?
You know damn well it is. You just want to see me fail today. That's a 8 total.
You've never heard of that guy ever in your life. Not somebody that sounds familiar.
Are you sure you weren't dreaming, Gladiator? I know everybody in this town, and that doesn't sound even the slightest familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was awake. I was just going on a walk around around town trying to take some downtime. But yeah, I mean, what everyone else get up to? Played Renwick? Anything fun? You guys run into any weirdos?
While the group is talking, I'm gonna get to like, I'm gonna take out all those flyers and like pile them up, and I'm gonna want to burn them.
You're gonna burn them?
Yeah, burn the flyers.
Okay, yeah, you definitely have like a little fireplace, and you start tossing them in, and yeah, they burn.
I can create fire too.
Oh, perfect. As the
Renwick's just gonna snatch one of them, just in case.
perfect. As the ink burns, it has like a weird like purple smoke. Like it's kind of a something different, whether it's the parchment or the ink. But yeah, essentially not a problem. You burn them easily.
And while we're all here, Logos is gonna set. He's gonna. Everyone's kind of talking and everyone's sharing what happened to them. Um, I am going to cast Hero's Feast. I conjure a feast that appears on the surface. I'll put it on the family table. The feast takes 1 hour to consume and disappears at the end of the time, and the beneficial effects don't set until the hour is over. Up to 12 creatures can partake in the feast. A creature that partakes gains several benefits, which last for 24 hours. The creature has resistance to poison damage, has immunity to the frightened and poison conditions, and its hit point maximum increases by 2d10. So, yeah, so y'all can't get poisoned and are immune to being frightened and poisoned.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
And our hit points all for the next 24 hours go up by 14 points. So everyone gets 14 temporary hit points for the next 24 hours.
That's sick.
Very nice. So as Logos kind of throws down this spread, I think Gladier posed a question to one of you. What were you saying, Gladier? I forget.
Oh, I was just asking. I asked Renwick and Blade what they got up to on their downtime.
I think at this point, Renwick's pretty open with you guys and just kind of like stares off, almost like dazed for a second when you bring it up. And it's like, well, I was reading the letter from my dad, and he asked about Arthur, and well, I figured, Arthur's the emissary, and I tried to reach out and see through the Kraken what Arthur was up to these days. And, well, there's some sort of battle between the Kraken and Neeligoth. I'm guessing it's over me. Don't get me wrong, I'm a little bit flattered, but at the same time, I'm fucking terrified. And he just kind of like sinks back into himself a little bit.
I need weed and your parents stopped by the house.
Hey, Locris, you ain't on mute there, buddy.
It must have switched.
I didn't know what I was hearing for a second. I got scared.
That's fair. Did you guys catch that, or was it overlapped?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, it was a little rough. I caught most of it.
Fair enough. I was like, I couldn't tell. I could hear it in the background, but yeah, I think
kidding.
Renwick kind of looks at you and he kind of stares off a little bit. And he just says, well, I read the letter from my dad, and well, he had asked about Arthur, and well, it got me thinking. So I sort of tried to commune with the Kraken since Arthur became his emissary, and tried to sort of see where Arthur's at. And it seemed like he and the Kraken were at war with Neeligoth, that demon that seems to have taken a liking to me, and I suppose Locus's father. It seems like they're at war over something, and as flattered as I might be, I'm terrified that I might be the thing to warring over. And he just kind of sinks back into his chair a little bit, stares off.
Well, I mean, silver lining there. At least Arthur's still alive.
Hey, what sort of life is it?
Well, maybe there's some way we can bring him back. Take
Hey,
him out, find a replacement, or get rid of the Kraken's need for an emissary. And it's yeah, like I said, I mean, it might not be a good laugh right now, but it's better than being dead, and especially if there's a possibility of us bringing him back.
Renwick kind of takes a long pause and looks at you and nods. He says, That's a real nice way of looking at things, and I hope you're right." And he pulls out his flask and takes a long draw off of it.
Bill Blade?
Oh,
Glader just pats you on the back and it gives you like a reassuring squeeze on the shoulder and just goes back to fucking housing this hero's feast.
So, what's the move here, fellas? Where are we going next? It seems the time is it's getting shorter. Pardon me, I burped. The time's getting shorter.
Blade will kind of do a little. Well, speaking of flyers and things being put out of nowhere, I found this. I don't know if you guys have seen it. And he'll lay down the flyer for the tournament. Any of you seen this?
No, are you sharing it because you think I'd make a good king?
I mean, someone might. I think all of us have the opportunity, especially every potato farmer, if they will.
That's an
A
interesting
pompous
comparison.
messenger sighs for an unknown reason in a different part of the world.
Seems that there's a tournament going on. The king from Tiana. Any of you familiar?
Are any of us familiar with Tierna?
Give me a history check.
Dude, you
I'm
can't
gonna.
even remember your own wife's own name.
First off, she's not my
Dude,
wife.
No, okay, your woman.
your,
I
your baby mama, dude. How dare you?
It's
even worse.
Sadar.
I rolled a
And
dirty 20 on history with a +1, believe it or not.
I definitely have never heard of it. I rolled a 6 +0 to history.
Okay, so
What the
Logos,
fuck is a Tierna?
you that's funny.
Right.
Sorry.
Locris rolled a natural 20.
Oh my god.
He's an expert in tier now, actually.
Yeah, I guess he is. Alright, so I'll just spill the whole fucking shebang. So, Locris, what you know about Tirna is that it is the northeasternish portion of Daanal Wisech. It has a pretty impressive northern coastline, and it trades directly with people in the Alliance Islands. What you know is that the Rustback Mountains that you guys were in Hordenshire, that is actually kind of like the border. So Hordenshire claims the mountains, but the other side of those mountains are like this rolling hills type of area, and that is actually the kingdom of Tirna. You know that there is a lot of military might. They have had various successful conquests, not only land but sea as well. You know that Tirna is renowned for their cattle. They just seem to have bigger, stronger cows, horses, oxen, etc. They've got the biggest ones, they've got the strongest ones, they've got the fastest ones. Like that's all Tyrna breed. Aside from that, you would know that the kingship in Tyrna has been weird for centuries. It's always some. First it's like a wizard king, and then it was the barbarian king, and they weren't related, and it was a weird series of events that led one to just handing the kingdom over to another, and then of course there were the more violent takeovers, the guillotines being busted out, rebellions, etc. But it's always kind of been volatile. It's always changed hands, and depending on what hands it changes to, kind of affects the rest of the realm. When it's a peaceful trading monarchy that is interested in treaties and promoting their kingdom and wealth and trade, etc. All of Daanal Wisech seems to benefit. The Alliance Islands, Hordenshire, Nightwood, and then it actually makes the products of Brightwood kind of a rare commodity. Like they're worth more there because Brightwood, where you're from, is the only nation that does not touch Tyrna in some way. Well, considering they have a coast and a formidable naval fleet, I guess the Alliance Islands aren't really touching, but there's access there. So you kind of are a bit of an expert in Tyrna. Somebody paid attention in history class for sure.
Oh, well, I'm sure Gladiator could tell us all about Tyrna.
Yeah, I mean it's
What do you know, Gladia? Go on.
it's
Please, Gladia, share all your secrets. It'd be very knowledgeable to have it.
it's to the east, I believe, and they are a very small country. That like very reclusive, like to stick to. Yeah, I don't know anything. Somebody else chime in here.
They're right by Hordenshire, but with the way Gladiator's eyes are, he's probably never seen it.
You know what's funny too? If Tyrna's in the north, Gethmar Keep is like at the very top of Hordenshire. So like probably bordering Tyrna.
I cast polymorph on Gladiator.
Tyrna is definitely closer to you than the Silver Queen's Keep. We'll say that.
Yeah, I didn't do well in geography.
It's
Blade,
full of. Go ahead.
I'm
Maps
gonna
are
cast
hard in Braille.
polymorph on Gladiator, and Blade's gonna cutting words it so he fails.
No. I was going to counterspell if he was going to try to stop it. I also polymorph.
What do you polymorph me into? What's
What do
the
you want to
spell?
be?
What do you want to be? We give you the option. I'm fucking terrified. You're gonna get changed now. Now, what do you want to be? It's your choice.
It's your choice, but it's going to happen.
We're inside your childhood home currently.
Within reason.
Mammoth.
Damn it.
I polymorph him into a mammoth beetle.
A mammoth beetle.
It's just a
Yeah.
slightly larger beetle.
Is that a wisdom save for polymorph?
I'm not gonna waste a 5th level spell to freaking. I don't know what's about to pop off.
It wouldn't be the first time.
No, I'll fucking waste.
I cast banishment, so he goes back to Hordenshire, and we can just meet him there.
There you go.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
So, Sean, so how far are we in Xanathia? How are we like on the other side of the like world or country or whatever to or Tierna?
You are roughly in the center of your own country, and Tirna would be all the way north. So, a week's travel, maybe a little more.
Is it closer to us or to like Renwick's dad's bar?
You guys for sure. You that is on the opposite side of the world currently.
Renwick, I do have a way for you to see your father in the morning, if you would like to. I know it's been a while.
I hadn't expected that. I mean, I suppose it would be nice to see him. What exactly do you have in mind?
I just put my fingers on his lips. You let me worry about that. Just let me know if you want to see your dad or not.
His bottom lip quivers ever so slightly.
Lucas, that goes for you too. If you'd like to pop in and say hi to your parents, I can make that happen.
Well, I'm good right now. They're a little busy.
And I think Renwick's bottom lip quivers ever so slightly, and then he immediately flashes to that vision of Arthur like at war with Naelagoth and like defending the Kraken, and he just kind of like almost shudders for a quick second. He's like, "No, my father said he's doing well. Some things are better left alone for now, but I do appreciate it." And he just makes like awkwardly long eye contact with you.
Logus will, hold his gaze. I mean, it's no problem at all. It won't take more than a couple seconds to cast what I need to cast, and you're there.
I just think that I need a little bit of space for myself now. But it's very kind of you.
Logus puts his finger on his lips again. I know what it's like to miss your dad. I just don't want you to go through what I'm going through. If I can help you, I'd want to.
Well, Logus, I could return the favor and take you to see your dad.
Lucas, hold on. I'm flirting with
Way
Renwick
to
right now.
break the sexual tension. I thought we were finally going to bring this podcast into like rated R territory here, but no.
Already?
Boner's gone. Fuck.
Logan made a surge in like episode 5.
What happened in episode 5?
You made a fleshlight out of a sturge.
No, that's not canon. Stop.
All right,
That's
we're
not
back.
canon.
That was
Logus
definitely
never did
canon.
No.
That was like one of the first times that a group vote made something canon.
Blade had an orgy with like pirates in the Shadowfell.
Yo, let's.
Yeah, but
that
we've
was
never explicitly done anything with one another, and y'all ruined it.
well.
Blade did walk me around on a leash for a little while as I was coming to terms with my new alignment.
Oh yeah.
You listen here, Boy Scout.
All the sexual tension is gone. Whatever, dude. Let's just go to bed.
Renwick just lets out a deep sigh and then kind of like walks away to go gather his things and get ready for bed. But every now and then he kind of peeks over his shoulder at Logus and wonders what could have been if the group hadn't interrupted them that night.
And
Logus definitely pulls out his Sturge flashlight in his room.
As the camera pans out to Renwick's longful gaze and a strange squeaking from a corner of the house somewhere. I think that's what we will call the session, fellas.
What a place to end it, honestly.
I have to ask, is that the first time you've ever ended one of our sessions on one of us masturbating? Because I don't think it is.
I mean, I would like to say yes as like a human,
But it won't be the last.
I don't think I don't. It's possible. No, I don't know.
I mean, we're just now getting to the Bard's Arc, so I guess we're starting out on the right foot. But I don't think that's the first time that's happened.
You know, whenever we take a prolonged break like we did, especially me, I haven't played in like damn near 3 weeks. Things do tend to get a little weird as like we get back into the weight, getting back into it.
That's fair. I mean,
agree.
You haven't been around for all of the RFS scenarios, but like we've had a lot of pent up sexual tension without you around. It had to all be taken out tonight. It only felt right. Now we can get back to the rest of the arc.
I don't know,
regular.
man. I think we opened the door here and we gotta, just see where the role play takes us. I don't know.
This whole arc is sexual tension, just so you know.
Hey man, we're all friends here. Sexuality is a spectrum.
It's fitting that we start the Bard's arc and immediately just sexual tension.
See, what you guys didn't realize is the sexual tension actually saved the day, because since it is the Bard's arc, anytime there's not sexual tension, everybody's gonna have to take like 3d20 dick damage until you guys figure it out.
Oh God.
3d20
dick damage.
Is there like a dick save?
It's like a blue ball save. I'll say half damage if you can pass like a DC 30 con save.
Oh.
If I say Locris is asexual, does he get a bonus?
Okay, it's a 28 DC con save for you, Locris.
Okay,
Logus is gonna take max damage from the blue balls he had tonight.
I have to roll 22.
Yep.
20 to make that DC 30.
Makes sense that Renwick and Logus taking got fucking a natural 20 on 3d20 dick damage.
The only thing I have to ask is it like emotional damage, or is it damage that you did to yourself after the fact?
Straight to the dick. No,
I think it's just after
just how hard you beating it, buddy.
The Sturge, like halfway through, like the Sturge didn't feel the same, and
well, I mean, you've been
Tardox
carrying it around for months, and it wasn't properly preserved.
Well, I mean, Tardox mad at him, so he's not getting anything there. The group blue balled us here, so like Logus has a lot of pent up frustration. He just lost his dad too. That's weighing on him.
Sorry.
It's one of those like use the tears for lubrication situations.
So are you implying that he's had this Sturge fleshlight so long that the vibrating he feels is just maggots?
Basically, yeah. I mean, like, let's be honest. He didn't actually. At no point is it canon that he preserved the Sturge light in some sort of leather fashion.
Logus is a fucking outdoorsman. He's a bushman, dude.
No.
He would not. He would not. I draw the line there. He knows how to.
I mean, there's not a lot of
saying.
those little Sturges. You could blast through one of those carapaces, no problem.
Well, fuck a bug carcass, but I draw the line that I can't
I
take
draw
care
the
of
line
this.
that I don't know how to take care of my goddamn carcasses.
I draw the line at I make quality sex toys out of my kills.
Did you use like some conditioning ointment on hers or something? Like to keep it up?
He's been using that fucking ointment that we have this whole time to keep his sex toy alive.
Keep it from cracking.
Cast Revivify on the Sturge every night and then kill it again so it's still fresh.
He burns spell slots on it.
That explains why he never casts anything.
He has no slots left.
He spent it keeping his Sturge light alive.
You fools, you think I haven't thought of this?
You guys didn't think it was weird that in 80 sessions all Logos had cast was Goodberry?
You know?
I consistently have Goodberry in my pocket.
Oh my god, can you imagine if this entire time he has been messaging Sean every day that we get up and he's just like, gonna renew the Sturge.
That's
He just never says anything.
Every
The
time
commitment to the
Sean
bit.
just sighs deeply as he wakes up to another message.
They're not even messages at this point, you guys. They're like Sturge-light fanfics. You know, they're pretty in depth and detailed.
AI generated Sturge lights.
It's like after a few times of being revived, the Sturge gained consciousness, and you guys formed a relationship because you can speak with animals now.
Oh, it just
I
keeps
made him
getting
get a dependency on me. I won't kill you this time if you don't run.
Oh my god.
Oh, how sick. Y'all are sick for making logos like this.
Choked on my drink.
Yes, it's 100% us.
I just go where the group takes me. Y'all are the ones who did this to him. He was a good elf boy.
I just like that you and I have no line to cross, and therefore they're just like we go down some weird rabbit holes.
God, you guys have me rolling over
Yeah.
here. I might have ribs hurt. All right, fellas, I gotta take off. So let's keep in touch. We'll do this crazy thing again soon, yeah?
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah.
God, I missed that sign off. That warms my heart. Night, boys.